It's weird with no headphones. You'll have to tell me if I sound right.
You sound good. You always sound good. Glad to have you with us. Frank, Visit Kingsport does such a wonderful job with all these conference tournaments, but there's so much to do more than just see sporting events here. This is such an open-ended question, but what are some of your favorite things about Kingsport that you always go to?
From a visitor standpoint, probably the biggest jewel we have, no pun intended, jewel in the King's crown, Bays Mountain Park. Oh, hey, there we're on the screen. Look at the camera, Frank. Bays Mountain Park, which is our city-owned park, one of the largest city-owned parks in the southeast. There's a 20-acre lake up there. Used to be the water supply for the city. Animals in their natural habitat. And tons of hiking trails. It's a must-see if you're coming to Kingsport for sure. And it's only $10 a car. Not by the person, but by the car.
Oh, that's a good deal. The Meadow View itself is amazing.
Yeah, unbelievable facility, just almost at 30 years old, coming up next year, 30-year anniversary of the facility, but been through some renovations and, just kind of keeping the new polish on for the guests.
I've been very impressed with the Kingsport, what you guys have done down here as far as to attract so many people, whether it be sports teams, shopping, dining, or just vacationing as well. Talk about the intentionality of what Kingsport has done to attract people to the area.
Well, you hit the nail on the head. Intentional. Very intentional about what we do. Even from down, from the viewers at home seeing the logo on the court, the sign on the backdrop of the website, just everything we have to be a little more intentional. We're not the first place you think of when a leisure destination, but from a special event standpoint, we own a 9-day summer festival called Fun Fest. Downtown concert series, just a bunch of things to create activities for guests and visitors. And then it's also, just an added benefit, quality of life for our citizens. And then on top of that, anybody who's coming to town for a business meeting, we want to make sure they have something to do to get out in the community, not just be stuck in their hotel or at the convention center here.
I live in Pikeville, Kentucky myself. I know a lot of people who visit Kingsport, they end up moving down to the Kingsport area, whether it be for employment opportunities or just love the area. They're very attracted to this part of Tennessee.
Yeah, we just had Pikeville, the Santa train up there, big Kingsport to Pikeville connection, the 84th running, I believe, which is unbelievable. Something, if no one has seen that, you should definitely check that out. It's always the Saturday before Thanksgiving, but yeah, we are a hot spot right now, and we have been for probably the past 4 years on people moving to the area. For 2 consecutive years, this was the top 10 one-way drop-off for U-Haul, and they've added 2 new locations. So I think you kind of add all those things up, and obviously it's telling you people are moving here. I think it's due to the affordability of the area. That's one of the things I fell in love with when I moved here a little over 19 years ago. It's a safe community, and there's things to do. And you're close to, if you want big city life, you're 90 miles to Knoxville, you're 80 miles to Asheville, can be in D.C. in 6 hours. So you can get places pretty quickly, but kind of a quaint, small town feel with some big town amenities.
The Tigers,
and we got a great basketball tournament.
No kidding. Extend their lead. 2:47 to play. The Tigers have been able to do no wrong today. So many teams here. What do you usually find people who come for the sporting events do while they're in town, and what do you think they're missing that would be a great, maybe they're on their way out or they're just getting here and they've got a few hours to kill? What's a good one?
There's a ton of great restaurants that are locally owned. So if Riverfront Seafood's a good one. Giuseppe's Chop House is a regional.
Hang on, let me write this down.
Oh yeah, get a list. You'll be back. I know. And we, even the quick service places like Pal's, that's probably one of those things. You can only go to Pal's, and I think there's about 30 locations, and it's headquartered right here in Kingsport. They've won the Malcolm Baldwin Service Award twice, and they're the only fast food restaurant to ever win it. So that's kind of a special thing in itself, and has almost a cult following.
But before you talk about that cult following, come from Pikeville to Kingsport to broadcast this one. I stopped at Pal's in Wise, Virginia.
There you go. First stop, right?
First stop, is right.
Outside that, there's a ton of great things in our region, not just in Kingsport. We try to sell the whole region. Bristol Motor Speedway, unbelievable facility. Right now, the Speedway and Lights going on. They have events over 200 days a year. You can go in and visit the facility and even drive your own vehicle on the track at certain times and at certain speeds. I don't want to say it's like go as hard as you can. There's Birthplace of Country Music Museum is up in Bristol, Virginia, just on the Virginia side of the city of Bristol. Smithsonian certified facility, unbelievable. And then you've just got a ton of historical sites here, not only in Kingsport, but throughout our region. Netherland Inn is here in Kingsport. Used to be the only inn you could travel to in the 1800s by land or by water because it's on the Holston River. And the salt boats from Saltville, Virginia came down the river making their way to Knoxville, and that was the stopover points. Tons of history, if that's your thing.
I'm a big history guy.
Okay.
Also, you talked about a lot of people moving to this area. Also, the quality of health care you have here in this region is absolutely amazing. I know a lot of people from Pikeville travel down to this area for the health care. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, one of our largest employers in the region outside of Eastman is Ballot Health. They are the largest rural hospital group in the country, but they do a fantastic job from, urgent care all the way to surgeries. Then in addition to that, we got State of Franklin Healthcare as well, HMG, Holston Medical Group, you're right, a lot of healthcare is a huge provider. Between the city, healthcare, and Eastman, those are our 3 largest employers. But then, oddly, tourism is a big deal in our area. Second largest employer in the state, or second largest industry in the state of Tennessee is tourism.
Well, Frank, we really appreciate you joining us. And once again, the accommodations in Kingsport itself could not be more welcoming and more wonderful to visit.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you all for doing a great job. I've been watching at home.
I appreciate you. Thank you.